Okay, so hello, how are we? So this is kind of the beginning of this alternative teaching I said I was going to do with my project that you have got permission forms for and so on. So the first thing I want to do is try do a grammar situation with you. So the whole objective of this, right, is that I do the recording. I record the class. I won't make it too long, hopefully. Um, you watch it before you come into class the next day, and then in class you just ask me questions. So while we go through this, please note down any misunderstandings or any questions you may have for tomorrow, the next time you see me. So about anything you could say, like, oh, I'm not sure about this rule or that rule, or and so on. Just have a copy next to you and have, take a little note of like maybe questions you have. Okay, and then we can address it in class, and then from there I will not go through this in class. Okay, this is the whole point of this. I will record it and you will watch it and take notes, and then in class we do only activities and practice what you have been taught in this video. Okay, so I know you did this with Miss Duggan, but we're going to try this again. So in this format, see if it's any way helpful or something. The whole point is trying to make Irish a bit more easier, and I don't know, maybe this is a way for you to engage with Irish a bit, on your own terms. You can pause them whenever you like, you can rewind, you can put me at like 5x speed, whatever you want, okay? So I'm Shalárthach a Hain, so Bríomh Realtag is on Réimniú. So you've done this a bit with Miss Duggan, right? It's the present tense, okay? We're only dealing with the regular verbs and the Réimniú. So basically, Réimniú, what that is the first group of verbs, okay? So there's no regulars here. What makes a verb regular is that it follows a pattern, okay? So you can learn this pattern off, and that's what I want you to do, okay? So sorry for the pixelated image there, but anyway, I'm not an expert on these things. But anyway, so I'm Shalárthach. When do we use it? We use it every day. So for example, ruddy a dhéanann tú gach lá, gach seachtain, gach mí, gach bliain, gach éire, right? So things you do every day, every week, every month, and so on. Or deganá usually, okay? So these are the times you would use the present tense. Okay, now, don't mind the Irish, I'll go and explain it for you. So what is this Réimniú? Well, simply, as I said, it's a group, okay? So don't get bogged down. The Réimniú and Réimniú, they're just groups. Think of them as two boxes, okay? Okay, so if we get that, what's the difference between them? Well, in the Réimniú, which we're only dealing with in this video, and when we go into class the next day, we'll only deal with Réimniú, right? I know I mentioned Réimniú up there, but, don't worry, we'll just deal with the Réimniú. So the first box is when verbs only have one syllable. So, for example, cuir, dún, what else? Ri, and so on. Okay, one syllable. So, nílach shulla a one ag an bríthir, okay? The verb only has one syllable. Okay, and that's a classification, and we will put it in the Réimniú, okay? So as I said, some examples of the Réimniú, we have cuir, ri, dún, brish, fan, glan, ol, éist, fill. And just to note, these are all regular verbs. We do have regular verbs, which are really important, but we're not dealing with that right now. So again, when they only have one syllable, cuir, ri, dún, brish, fan, glan, ol, éist, fill. Okay? So one syllable. And feel free to, rewind this video or stop it at any time if you're thinking I'm going too fast. That's the whole point of this, okay? So you get to stop it, rewind it, take notes, okay? So, what makes a verb regular? Well, as I said, it follows a pattern. Noratá rud rialta lanin sé patrún, okay? Being rialcha dangin en, okay? Dangin, like set rules. You can't, change it, you just have to learn it, okay? But it makes it easier because you can follow a pattern, okay? Unlike the regular verbs, there's no rules in that regard, you just have to learn it off, okay? So, have you heard quail, Latin, Latin? Well, as you see on the PowerPoint there, we have E and I versus A, O, and U, okay? So quail letters are E and I, and they look quail, you know, slender, they look slim. And we have Latin then, A, O, U, the fatter vowels, okay? Now, again, just emphasizing quail, Latin, Latin. Yeah, so what I want you to do is pause this video, right? And outline, write them in your copy or say it aloud, which one of these are quail and which one of these verbs are Latin. How can we tell? A bit of a tip for you is we always work off the last vowel, okay? For example, quer. Quer would be quail or Latin. Well, the last vowel in quer is I. So if we go back, I is quail. So that would be a quail verb, okay? So pause this video and go and do that now, okay? Now, here's an example of the Latin verbs. Why is it Latin? Why is it broad? Well, the last vowel, is, for example, in June is U, father. So that's broad. If we kind of went from that, what you did, the activity just there. And now, in the kind of bold writing then, what do we see? We see AIM, ANN, sorry. And then we have the plural AIMID, and so on. Right? And then for the negative, we have ni, groenum, okay? The DH causes dune to go to groen, okay? And then we have on plus aru, so on noon and two, okay? They're the questions. Now, don't worry about the last bit there on Serbruher. That's just really when there's no gender involved, when one did close the door, one did open the door, stuff like that, okay? What I want to focus on is the pattern we see, right? And the pattern can be seen here, okay? For Latin, these are your pattern on the left of the screen. So AIM, ANN2, ANN she, AIMID is the plural, okay? Then again, ANN shiv, ANN shiv, okay? And then we have quail on the other side. So they're similar, right? But this is for the Cade Réimniú only, right? These are the endings for the Latin verbs and the quail verbs in the Cade Réimniú. If you need to pause it and write it down, maybe, which would to keep track, you know, and maybe Miss Duggan gave to you already, but if you want to just take these down, that could be helpful, okay? So again, if the vowel is Latin, meaning the last vowel in the verb ends on a Latin, so broad vowel, you use these endings, okay? And then if it's slender, ends in the slender, you use these endings, okay? So AIM and IM, as you can see in the may, so we have no may, right? We have two shade, she, shiv, and sheed, but in the first person and in the plural, we don't have any pronoun. They kind of combine and they kind of make a whole new ending. That's what makes the present tense, you know, the present tense, okay? So you have to add in two she and shiv and sheed, but when it comes to may and mwid or shin, which is us, you combine them and it makes this whole new ending. We don't need to have may, right? For example, quorum, that's how we would say, we wouldn't say quorum may, because it already is in there when you combine it, okay? So I hope you understood the first part of the Cade Réimniú. Please, if you aren't sure, go back, look back at what I said, take down the notes, and then tomorrow, once you have those endings, we're going to do some practice activities on the Cade Réimniú, right? Just the first syllable, okay? So just take down, pause it, review it, and in class tomorrow, make sure you have your questions, and then we're going to have more of like straight into activities rather than me talking, okay? I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow.